Okay, I want to do a little bit of a follow-up on these Consumer Financial Protection Bureau that Doge went in and pretty much destroyed. And just talk a little bit more about what was going on there and what they've done. Okay, to go give a few numbers here. They have a budget of somewhere between $500 and $700 million a year. That budget goes through the Federal Reserve. It's not done by Congress. And that was done for a reason. They didn't want Congress constantly deciding whether they would give them the money to do this kind of thing. Because just go back a little bit. The reason that thing was done was the recession we had in 2008 was primarily because predatory lending by banks. I mean, this was nutcase lending. Nobody was backing up these loans. They didn't require anything. They never checked on you. You know, they used to, if you took out a mortgage to buy a house, they would check to see if you were living in the house. Because if it was a loan that was for an owner-occupied, they would, send a certified letter or something like that to that address and see if it came back accepted. Well, they didn't do any of that stuff. And I was borrowing money back at that time. A few years before that, yeah, they followed through on everything. But I borrowed money, I don't know, probably a couple of years before this all went down, and they didn't check on anything. So obviously, the regulation for the consumers was lax. It was controlled by the banks and any other financial institutions that could cut a fat hog. Okay, so they don't want Congress cutting their funds. They've gotten back about $21 billion over those years. Most of this was distributed to the people that got screwed. So we've got lots of Republicans that have come out and said, this is horrible, they're not accountable, and blah, blah, blah.
There's no oversight. Fundamentally flawed.
Arguably the most unaccountable agency in the history of the U.S. federal government.
Democrats saying, we need this, it's predatory lending, and so on.
Trump and Musk want to just take that agency away.
Doge could not really, they can't cut their funding. Their funding comes from the Federal Reserve, not from the Congress, so they can't cut their funding. What they can do is fire everybody that's there, so they can't do anything. And that's exactly what they've done. They have fired, I think there's 1,500 employees, and now there's 200. A judge just blocked the firing of these people. But you can just see, if I can't get it one way, I'll get it another. So what is their ultimate goal? Well, all you got to do is listen to the president. He'll tell you.
You can confirm it's your goal is to have it totally eliminated?
I would say, yeah, because we're trying to get rid of waste, fraud, and abuse.
They don't want that type of regulation because they can't change it. They can't go around it, all that sort of stuff. If they can't do those things, then they can't cheat you. Sorry guys, I used to be a Republican, and ain't nothing like a reformed Republican. These guys are just thieves. They're just flat thieves, and they have no integrity at all. Okay, anyway, that's where it stands. This judge has stopped the firing. And, it'll go through the courts. There'll be all this thing. But it will be disrupted. It won't work because they're not doing their job. They cut everybody out that did any of the enforcement. And so they're not doing their job anymore. And that's pretty much what Trump wanted anyway, isn't it? This is corruption. Total corruption taking over everything we have. That's it in this one.